come from a business family. My grandfather, my father, they all come from a business family, SME trading business family. Coming from a place called Nanpara district, Bahraich in Uttar Pradesh. It's very near to Nepal border. I studied at the medium school. So I think it was always, everybody in our family is a businessman. It's just that though they are all educated people, but I think they all went to business. I also did my education. My grandfather was a very big visionary. He would encourage everybody to do best of the education. He sent my Chachaji to US in the 1970s. So when I completed my software engineering from HBTI Kanpur, computers were very new. And then I was working with CMC Limited, which later on got acquired by TCS. And with San Petroda. I think I got to know a lot about internet and networking, and that fascinated me more than the computer itself. So I was like, while I was in US, we used to use very primitive internet at that point of time. Very primitive, that text-based, Gopher and those kind of things. But even those internets were very powerful. You can realize the power of that technology even in those primitive days. So, and then browser came, the Windows kind of a browser, Mosaic browser came. I remember very vividly, I was working in a lab in Sunnyvale, Silicon Valley, and there was this Chinese girl on the other side of the lab, and she's opened a software which looked like very new and very jazzy to me. There was a globe which was turning, and she clicks on a button, and immediately all the things, data is coming from different sources and making a web page. And I knew it is a Mosaic browser when I went and asked. And it felt to me as if the entire convergence is going to happen through this particular network. You could do voice, you could do video, you could do text, you could do photos, you could do video calling, you could do television. I mean, in a moment of a few seconds, the telephone, television, newspaper, fax machine, everything is like falling into that gutter or falling into that new thing. That's the kind of feeling I had. And so I think 1995, 15th August, and I didn't want to do a business in the US, or I didn't want to stay in the US for long. I was like, मैंने computer India के लिए सीखा है. I want to do something for India. I used to hate people who will study here and then never come back. So, 15th August 1995, internet was announced by the Prime Minister at Lal Killa, and 16th August I told my manager I had to go. So 16th August I decided to kind of leave. So I came back and wanted to start this business with no plan, no nothing. I said, okay, let's find out what all opportunities are there. I came back and found that internet service provider you cannot become because it is only licensed to BSNL. And then I started to go to different trade fairs and different places to see what all different business models are there. I tried to become dealer distributor of IT product. I thought of opening IT education company like an IIT, Aptech. I thought of creating, selling a modem or those kind of things. One fine day I was sitting along with my friend Vikas Mishra and Madhu and at United Coffee House in Delhi, and he said, have you heard about website? Nowadays there is a website making business also. I said, that sounds good, yeah, you are not allowed to operate internet, but at least website. I don't know how to make it because I was a very hardcore engineer, which is more like a telecom engineer or a device driver engineer. So I started to study about that. What is HTML, what is website. I really like the idea. The next question was, किसके लिए वेबसाइट बनाएंगे? अपनी तो बना लेंगे, बट अपनी वेबसाइट पे चलो कुछ डाल देंगे, बट किसके लिए वेबसाइट बनाएंगे? There has to be some revenue model. So the two things emerged. One was that we can make websites for these large companies here, which is like Hindustan Lever, Nerola's, I mean any of the large brands here. Because in India, अभी शुरू में वेबसाइट वही लोग बनवाएंगे, banks, but over the time maybe it will become a big business. To begin with, large brands. The second was that though we did not have the enough number of internet users here in India, but by 1996 we had good number of internet users in America and people were using it officially very nicely, and more so for international purpose. So if we could make website for exporters, it would make a lot of sense because Western countries will get information about India. Generally, information about India was very, very obscure and not available. And the second part was that, to make a website here in India, exporters was the most savvy people. They would go for they were the only people who were doing foreign visits and all that. So they would have the best of the gadget and best of the knowledge. So I said, okay, that sounds like a plan. So we started making website for how do we make website, how do we approach them. So we started to get directories of existing directories, paper directories of exporters and all that. There were Chamber of Commerce, Federation of Indian Exporter Organization, these kind of directories. And we call them. So initially we started to send them. We couldn't copy those directories on our platform. So we said that okay, we'll send them an invitation letter. So we can at least copy the address. That's what these directories are meant for. So we send out letters to every along with our brochure and all that, getting addresses from those directories. And in that, we are building a new platform called IndiaMart, and we would like to have you register with our platform free of cost. If you kindly fill out this form and fax it back or send it back to us, and we will register you free of cost. And also ask them if you are interested in making a paid website or a paid something. And that's how ball started to roll, and we started to get some lead. Hired one or two person to follow up on those leads. In the daytime I will do the sales, in the evening we'll make some website. I quickly realized that I am not best of the designer. I cannot do. So the first page of IndiaMart looked horrible. Though it worked, but the more I tried to design it, the more shabby it got. It's like you make a drawing and make a shabby drawing, and then you try to improve upon it, it gets even shabbier. So then I didn't know where to get designers from. Then went on to NIIT and Aptech. They said, we don't know what to company. So I said, okay, who are the bright girls at your place? Anybody who's good at anything. We'll take. In any case, they were not getting jobs so free, easily. So we trained them. I think that's how slowly and slowly we get website designer. And the ball started to roll. I think everything was good.
So I think one thing which I can probably say that I think success is not at that keen eye that looks to anybody in the world. It's shabby, right? So that.
Multiple times it happens, but I think I can recall one in every 5 years that, oh my God, it has not happened, it is not working out. But then, there's another day, and when you look back, you see 1 day of low, or a couple of days of low can't take away the glory that you have enjoyed over the last so many years, because since we were in the forefront of business, we could see, with just sitting in my flat जहाँ से मैंने चालू किया था, from that flat, sent the first inquiry when came, and we were like dancing. अमेरिका से इंक्वायरी आई है, उसको ढूंढ के हर आदमी को दिखा रहे हैं, see this is American inquiry, and then we'll send it out to so many people, and then it started to actually work. We started to get inquiries. Somebody would ask, this is a very good service started by Government of India. I said, okay, thank you. So I think we had a good, but when it came to making money, when it came to downloading software, when it came to getting a telephone, when it came to getting an electricity connection, it was all nightmare here in India. Yeah, 6 months to get my first telephone. I had to put a fax machine in my friend's place, and my visiting card would only have the fax number because I didn't have a phone number. So if you want to communicate with me, fax me, and then in the night I will go and collect the fax. Most days nothing will come, and पूरा दिन टेलीफोन एक्सचेंज में जाके बैठे हैं, साहब फोन लगवा दो, OIT टेलीफोन, some 15,000 रुपए का फोन लेने के लिए. I think those kind of, when then we took a slightly bigger office, पूरा ऑफिस बन गया, सब तैयार हो गया, 5-7 लाख रुपए लगा के. देन बिजली वाले ने कहा यहाँ तो कनेक्शन नहीं दे सकता मैं, ये तो अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी है. So I think those were the issues, but then and then we were doing business properly, nicely, and then this venture capital boom somehow कहीं से आया. The first time somebody asked us, सर हम venture capital से बोल रहे हैं, आपको पैसे देंगे, आप हमसे मिलिए. तो हमने उनसे बोला हमें लोन नहीं चाहिए, we didn't know how much is the venture capital. But then there was something venture capital, and they came and they funded everybody. They funded Rediff, they funded Make in India, they funded India Markets, and by the end of '99, the whole town of Mumbai and Delhi were painted red and yellow, and people were leaving my jobs who were trained literally by my hand. मैं 15 दिन तक ट्रेनिंग लेता था एक न्यू ज्वाइनिंग की personally, and they would who were being paid like 3,000-5,000 rupees at our place, they get a 6,000-8,000 rupees job immediately outside, and they leave. And I was not knowing what's happening, but still I was fighting. चलो चल रहा है. I wasn't even aware that there was a big .com boom happening in. I was like focusing on अमेरिका तो छोड़ के आ गए, वहाँ दोबारा कभी जाएंगे भी नहीं. इनफैक्ट वी डिडंट इवन रिन्यू आवर पासपोर्ट्स. माय सन इज एन अमेरिकन बॉर्न, उसका भी पासपोर्ट नहीं रिन्यू करवाया. सो आई मीन वी वर लाइक हो गया कहाँ वापस जाएगा, हाँ डन विद यूएस. सो देन and we in 2000 then we were, when the .com bust happened, we didn't even know. Somewhere when in 2001 somebody contacted us that it's been 1 year of .com burst, and we want to feature you on our cover page, and do you make profit? Yes, we do make profit. Check करेंगे हम आपके, check कर लो. And that's how we were like very famous and all that. 6 months down the line, we were doing all good. I sold my house के लिए एक मैंने प्लॉट लिया था, and because we wanted a bigger office. And then September 11 happened. The terrorist attack in New York brought down business to knees. कि क्या कर सकते हैं, can't get that kind of money, बैंक का लोन खड़ा है, so you feel like lower than this, but you know,
Passion overrules the frustration.
yeah, passion overrules the frustration.
Great, great, sir. One, I think, I want, because since you have seen all this journey now, I was talking to the attendant people also that
So though traditionally, you know, in India, though people say कि इंडिया में तो लोगों को बिजनेस करना नहीं आता, तो सब जॉब वाले हैं, ऐसा ट्रू नहीं है. Only 7-8% of Indian people have regular jobs. Rest 90% of the people are, चाहे वो रेडी वाला है, चाहे वो दुकान वाला है, चाहे वो पान वाला है, उसको बिजनेस करना आता है. तो ये कोई बोले कि हमारे यहाँ किसी ने बिजनेस नहीं किया, तो वो केवल 10% लोग हैं. बाकी 90% जो किसान हैं, जो उनको बिजनेस कहीं ना कहीं से बिजनेस करते हैं. कुछ लोग मजदूर हैं, वो छोड़ देते हैं. अगर वो भी ले लीजिए 20-30%, तो मतलब 50% से ज़्यादा लोगों के यहाँ बिजनेस होता है. तो we are by force entrepreneurs, not by choice. So, and entry barrier into business in India is very, very low. And thanks to government, you really don't need to have any license, any paper to start a business. You can just open a bank account and that's it. Start. So, and you know, starting a business in India, a small scale business is very, very easy. And that's why, and since we are by force entrepreneurs, we just get on to first opportunity, whatever we can, because for us that is to feed our family. And that's why, since these are not planned, not well thought out, and all supported by well education or well financing, so they tend to fail. And I think a similar practice is being exercised by even the educated ones, and startup karna hai. So startup has become a fashion. So I think so, which is bound to have a higher failure rate. But it's good that now even earlier the educated people would always think that business is like business तो छोटे लोग करते हैं या बड़े लोग करते हैं.
Still, I think automation is still not given that respect I don't get.
Yeah, so I think either you are an industrialist हो या आप हो ट्रेडर, दुकानदार हो. तो दुकानदार मुझे बनना नहीं है, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट में बन नहीं सकता, तो मैं तो जॉब ही करूँगा. I think so, but that is now changing. ना मुझे दुकानदार बनना है, ना मुझे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट बनना है, मुझे न्यू एज बिजनेस करना है, which is now called startup. ठीक है, it's okay. नाम चेंज होता रहता है. तो न्यू एज बिजनेस करना है, which is okay. Not many people are joining business. Now coming to the failure rate. One failure rate is, which is both sides of the coin, non-availability of money, non-availability of finances. Second is too much availability of finances, too much. So I think both are not really good. So many businesses die because they don't get even little finance to manage that. And many die because they end up raising too much, diluting too early, and then so I think like that. Third, why we are not able to scale up or become large enough? I think there the problems are more fundamental to India as a nation. We as a nation, except for pockets of years, pockets of 2-3 years, 2-3-4 years, generally have been a low growth country. So there are pockets of certain years where you have like 8% growth and all that. But generally we have been like 6% kind of a growth company, or sometimes even falling below that. So on a CAGR level, our growths are really not comparable to China. Not as bad as Russia, but somewhere near like Brazil or मतलब within the BRICS, we can say okay, no, we are just below the China, okay, but not really much ahead of Brazil or Indonesia. To some extent, some days yes, but they don't. They generally try to remain in 4, 5, 6%. We generally remain at 6, 7, 8%. Sometimes even fall to 4, 5, which you can see now. We saw in 2012, 13. We saw in 2008. We saw in 2002. So, I mean, every 4 year, 5 year, you fall down to like 4%, 5%. And if you take the nominal GDP growth, which China had like 20 odd percent, because 12% उनका 10-12% उनका GDP growth रहा है, real GDP growth, and ऊपर से nominal GDP growth और भी ज़्यादा. I think for you to have a sustained at $2,000 per capita income, and that too is like concentrated in Delhi and Mumbai and Goa and Chandigarh. I mean, the entire UP, Bihar. I mean, so 90% of the population is probably $500 per capita GDP.
With the real India, I think that's still.
Yeah, so it's only 50 to 100 million population, which is about $5,000 or $8,000 per capita, which itself is much lower. And then, since these are the people who have to pay for taxes for the rest of the country to at least run, so there are high taxes. Indirect taxes are higher. Same car in a dollar level, if I can get it for $18,000 in US, if I convert here in the same car on road, it will turn out to be like $35,000 here. So I mean, actually, poor countries, poor people have to pay. For them, everything is the most expensive. For us, a doctor visit may cost us 2,000 rupees, whereas 1,000 rupees a doctor and 1,000 rupees medicine. For a poor person who's coming from a village, it will cost him 5,000 rupees. How? Because one, he will have to forego his 2-3 days of earnings. Then he will have to travel, and then in case doctor said ये वाला test करा के लाओ, the whole thing has to be repeated all over again. So the same doctor to an urban population, go in the evening and see and go in the morning and see, cost 2,000 rupees. To a poor person cost like 5,000 rupees. So I mean, and same is here. The same car to an American cost $18,000, who can afford a $36,000, who has a per capita GDP as high as $45,000 or $50,000. To us, a $15,000 or $10,000 per capita guy, it costs $35,000. It's a very
double impact on that.
It's a double impact on the. So that makes it even more difficult to bootstrap and do things. Population, and then we come from various religions, we come from various strata, which also has its own positives and negatives, because sometimes you get carried away in those discussions which are not so economic. So culturally yes, but then
interesting phenomenon which I have observed, especially in SME, who are now stable, who have started. So I met a lot of people who are very ambitious and very passionate about what they started some time back.
Yeah, very right, people. I think generally the people who become businessmen or who become who passed, so who came into the business because they want to earn good living, for them, for their family. For them it makes sense in a very similar manner that, you know, when you have nothing and when you have age on your own side, I think you go very balanced. And then once you have a car, once you have a गाड़ी, once you have a baby, once you have
You want to protect that.
I mean, you want to kind of, people want to enjoy the family, people want to, and किसके लिए करना है? तो किसके लिए करना है? So I think there are two very different, and that's the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. Because or a businessman who's driven by what motives, you know, are you becoming? Nowadays, I think, you know, we are seeing more entrepreneurs getting into. See, I got into to do something nice for my country and nice for my family. Not that I have to beat Mukesh Ambani or I have to become a Gargar. I mean, I don't think I ever had that ambition. I just wanted to do something good for my country, something that I can utilize this technology which helps in the betterment of my country, and something which helps my family. As we grew up, as we could do that, it gave me power and strength to think further that how family to how do I do a greater good for the country.
Your why for the business changes.
Your purpose, higher purpose in the life changes. Is that higher purpose still that I want to beat Mark Zuckerberg? Not yet. I mean, I still want to be doing good job for India, doing good, create a platform which helps millions and millions of businesses, makes it easier to do business in India, creates a long-lasting impact on economy. Whether it should make a lot of money? No, it should make money. Yes. Whether it should lose a lot of money to either kill or die? No, I think I would rather say that this platform should remain there. Not that if it can't become this, that it destroys. Some people is like either it has to become this big.
Number one or I don't exist.
So number one तो वही है. Number one, and that brings a lot of purpose. But I think number one के बाद कई बार लोग वहाँ चले जाते हैं कि मुझे global number one बनना है नहीं तो मैं. So I guess everybody's thought. But yes, you are right. Some people plateau out. Some people, in fact, are a lot of people are just killing their businesses by trying to get it, do everything.
Absolutely. I think what I like about India Mart is that you've been very consistent, I think, throughout the journey, and you've been.
ऐसा बाहर से लगता है, we have been very consistent.
Obviously, you know the better truth, but I think.
We have seen so many near-death experiences.
I'm sure.
कि बस परसों बनना हो जाए, परसों मतलब 2 महीने में. But I think God has been kind and we have been able to put the emergency brakes at the just before the time and survive and then thrive again. I think we have evolved to become a more customer-centric company. And I think financial prudence is something we have learned over there, and I think it was inbuilt because I come from a traditional business family, so that also helped me.
I want to have your definition of Junoon, Jurat and Jugaad. Whatever comes in your mind, first go.
So जुनून बिल्कुल सही बात है. जब कोई चीज दिल में ठान ली जाए तो फिर उसके लिए जो भी करना पड़े किया जाएगा. और खास करके जुनून मैंने देखा है कि मुझे सर्वाइवल के टाइम पे जुनून काफी सवार हो जाता है. मतलब ग्रोथ का जुनून उतना नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे सर्वाइवल का जुनून सवार हो जाता है. जब ग्रोथ मेरी जरूरत है, मैं मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैंने 33% ग्रोथ नहीं किया तो मैं फेल हो गया, मतलब जैसे पासिंग मार्क्स होते हैं ना, तो मेरी मिनिमम ग्रोथ की जरूरत है 33%। अगर मेरे को ग्रोथ नहीं होती तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं फेल हो गया या ग्रेस मार्क्स से पास हो किया जा रहा हूँ। What was the third one?
जुगाड़.
Jugaad. So I think yes, we do use innovative methods
Right.
to get things done in a quick way manner
Right.
and in a cost effective manner, and that is what we call jugaad. तो किसी अलग अलग चीजों को इनोवेटिव तरीके से जोड़ के जल्दी से टाइम टू मार्केट पे ले आना, वो मेरे लिए जुगाड़ है। किसी चीजों को जोड़ करके उसकी कॉस्ट आधे में कर ले जाना, वो मेरे लिए जुगाड़ है। जनरली जुगाड़ इज टू डू टू थिंग्स, आइदर गेट फास्टर टू मार्केट, टाइम टू मार्केट।
Right.
उसके लिए हम ऐसा क्या करें कि क्या जुगाड़ लगा के जल्दी से पहुंच जाए, या अभी क्या जुगाड़ लगा के अभी के लिए कोई क्राइसिस सॉल्व करना, या लॉन्ग टर्म कुछ कॉस्ट सोल्यूशन करें। So those are the जुगाड़ related items.
Perfect, sir. And
I would say, India is a great country, and today the median age of India is 28 years. So imagine 50% of the population is all or below 30 years of age, which is like a great place to be. किसी ने मुझे बताया कि जब किसी भी कंट्री की मीडियन एज 25 साल या 30 साल पहुंच जाए, वहां जाके इन्वेस्ट कर दो। घटिया से घटिया सरकार, घटिया से घटिया इनोवेशन भी उस कंट्री में अगले 20 साल तक ग्रोथ लेके आएगा। So I think there is no better time and day than India to come invest your money. अगले 20 साल तक only people can harm it by 1 or 2%.
right.
If they can, otherwise.
That's interesting. Great, sir. And what's your take on this book? Like, do you think this book will serve the purpose?
So I'm not a very avid book reader. I do read a lot of newspaper and but very few books. So, but looks like a very interesting triangle of Jugaad, Zarurat and Junoon. Very different thought, and the more interesting entrepreneurs that you can meet, and the more unique anecdotal stories that you can bring out. I'm sure this should do a great job.
Perfect, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.